Hello, Guido here from blockbuilders.net, and we want to take a look today at Synthetix, or SNX. So Synthetix, the protocol, was actually founded by Kane Warwick in 2018. However, the project started out with the name Haven, and they shortly afterwards changed the name to Synthetix. And they also pivoted into the DeFi space, and now you are able to issue synthetic assets and derivatives with Synthetix. The project was supported by some prominent investors. So, for example, you have Framework, or you have 3 Arrows Capital that is a big name in crypto, and you also have Defiance Capital that supported the project. And most of them are still deeply invested and deeply involved into the project. If we are talking about Synthetix, we're actually talking about a collection of smart contracts that are running on the Ethereum blockchain. And of course, they also have a token, and the token itself is named SNX. And because the protocol runs on the Ethereum blockchain, the token is also an ERC20 token. And so you can just check on Etherscan and see the last transactions, and you see the token contract, and you can see the max supply and everything. So it's also an Ethereum-based token. Currently, there are about 140 million tokens in circulation. However, that amount will about double until 2025. So only half of the supply is currently in circulation. And so you can just calculate what the inflation will be over the next few years. However, the space is heavily growing. The special thing about Synthetix is actually that you can issue synthetic assets like USD or BTC, and these synthetic assets are then called, or the name of these synthetic assets then start with an S. So you have sUSD, you have sBTC, you can issue sGold, sSilver, and so on. And the good thing then is that you can actually have, in the crypto space, a token that is connected to a real world asset like gold, for example, or USD. So all you have to do is you have to deposit some SNX, and then you can issue a token based on these SNX that you deposited. And you can also do inverse tokens. So you can create inverse assets. They start with an I when you name them. So you can, for example, issue IBTC. That would basically mean it's inverse correlated to BTC. So if the BTC price would go down, the token price of IBTC would go up. And the same is true for gold and all the other assets. And the price of these synthetic assets is always determined by an oracle. It's an external oracle based on Chainlink. So Chainlink, also one of the big crypto projects, and you can see Synthetix is using that to determine the price of these synthetic assets. The good thing with the synthetic assets is also that you can use them in the DeFi space. So for example, you can deposit SNX, then you can mint sUSD, and these sUSD you can then trade on Uniswap, for example, or use any other platform to lend them out or borrow some of it. And you can also do that with sBTC, sGold, and so on. So it gives you access to the whole DeFi universe if you issue one of these synthetic assets. And how it actually works is that you have to deposit 500% collateral, and then you can issue sUSD. So let's say you want to issue 1000 sUSD, and then you need to deposit SNX worth at least 5000 USD. So it's quite a high collateral compared to what you are issuing. However, they have to do it because the token price is still very volatile. And so they just want to make sure that these assets that you're issuing are always backed. And everyone can basically mint new synthetic assets and burn tokens. So everyone can just enter the synthetic assets or the synthetic platform and create new tokens. So as you can see, you can just burn or mint new tokens, you can claim rewards, you can trade them here, and so on. And that's actually based on Minter. That's one of the platforms that you can use with Synthetix. And you can also stake your SNX token. However, you have to know that you get quite a high interest rate. So the interest rate currently is around 30%. You can just check that here. However, you have to know that staking here actually takes a lot of work because you have to make sure that the collateral that you are staking is high enough. And if not, you have to burn token or mint new tokens and so on. So you have to check your staked amount at least every 3 days. So it's actually quite a lot of work in order to get the 30% interest per annum. So everyone has to decide if he wants to do it or not. And I will probably do a separate video about staking SNX and how much work it actually is and what you have to do. However, I just want to tell you here that you have the option to stake it. And a few other things you have to know. There is also a platform called CWenter that belongs to Synthetix. So there you can actually trade your synthetic assets against each other. It's quite similar to Uniswap, so you also trade against a contract. And another thing that is important, the project itself, so Synthetix itself, it's not run by Kane Warwick anymore. It's now governed by a DAO, so a decentralized autonomous organization. So every user that has SNX in his wallet can actually vote on the progress of the protocol and can define in which direction the project should go. So it's really a decentralized organization by now. However, Kane Warwick is still very involved and writes lots of blog posts and tries to push the project forward. One of the issues with ERC20 tokens right now is that it's still very important to do a transaction and to mint and burn and everything. So that's why Synthetix is now using a layer 2 solution, and they are using Optimistic for Ethereum. So not all the transactions are made on the main chain anymore. They use a separate chain. And with that separate chain, you can just do transactions for a couple of cents, and you're not paying like $30 or so anymore for a simple transaction. And looking at Synthetix, there are a lot of pros and cons why you should buy it or why it's probably not the best solution yet. So let's look at the pros and cons. So first of all, you have to know that the global derivatives market is just huge. So talking about the stock market is a bit smaller than 100 trillion US dollar. And if we look at the derivatives market, it's probably at 1,000 trillion US dollars. So it's more than 10 times the size of the global stock market. So there's a lot of futures trading and options trading and everything going on besides the actual trading. So that's why derivatives will be huge in DeFi and in the crypto space. And no protocol is really that big yet that it's clear which one will be the winner here and which will be the best solution. However, SNX is in a good position right now because they have all the options to offer synthetic assets, and you can trade them without even holding the assets. So it's actually quite a good market to be in it. And you can also trade without KYC. So you can trade sUSD or sGold without doing any know your customer process. So no one knows who you are, basically. However, there's also one disadvantage currently with SNX, and that is that the collateralization is still very high. So if you want to issue like 1,000 sUSD, you need 5,000 SNX worth 5,000 sUSD. And so that's not very capital efficient right now. Hopefully in the future there will be a better solution. However, in my opinion, the leading protocol in the future will be one where you don't need that much collateralization, and they will probably find another way to secure everything, and not with like 500, 600, 7,500% collateral. So let's wait. However, Synthetix is still developing and it goes in the right direction, and they are trying to take the collateralization down, and it's already used by a lot of people. I think they have it here, and currently the value locked in the protocol is more than 2 billion. So that's already quite a lot. And they're really in a good position here in the DeFi space. However, if that will be enough in the future, no one knows. If you want to buy SNX, the best way to check where you can buy it is always on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, and just go to market here, and then you can see the highest trading volume of SNX. SNX is actually on Binance. It's more than 20 million in the last 24 hours. So if you don't have a Binance account yet, I put a link down in the description that you can use, and with that link you will save 10% on trading fees. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to use the comments down below. Also, when you have any questions about SNX or anything around it, if you like that video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.